Have you ever wanted to make Roblox GFX like a pro? Well, today I'm going to be showing you how to make my thumbnails, profile picture, and more. But to do that, we're going to need 3 different applications: Roblox Studio, Blender, and Photoshop. However, if you don't have Photoshop, you can use any other photo editing app like Pixlr. So the first thing we're going to need to do is download Blender. Search up Blender, blender.org, you'll find it right here. Then you want to press download, and then download Blender. And before we open Blender, we have to install a plugin that helps us put a Roblox rig into Blender. So to do this, we're going to have to go in this website in the description. Afterwards, you want to go name a fair price, put $0 because it's free. Then put your email, add a tip, then press get. Now I want to download these 2 zip files right here. So once we have this, we want to go into Blender. Now that we're in Blender, we want to open a general file. Alright, this is future me here. I thought it would be helpful if I gave you a tutorial on Blender. So what we can do is middle mouse button is what you drag to move. You just drag the mouse around holding down middle mouse button. You hold down shift, middle mouse button, drag it, and it allows you to move like this, doing all this stuff. And then once you've done that, you can do G to move, R to rotate, and then S to scale. And that's what allows me to kind of like animate the rig, I guess. Like pose it into like the poses I need for the video thumbnail. Anyways, there's gonna probably be like keybinds there as well, so it will like show you what to do. Maybe. Don't trust me like that. I'm not that smart, man. Then go to edit, preferences, add-ons, and then install. Once you're in install, then find the zip file. Then we want to search up rig right here. Then it will show up with Roblox starter rigs. You want to tick that right here. Afterwards, you can close that. Open this. Starter rigs. Now we can select our rig. But first, we have to delete all the stuff in the workspace. Now we can do our rig. Now that we have a rig right here, we can hold down Z, go to material preview. Then, once we select the head, go to shading, and we have this that pops up right here. This is the main texture, and this is the face texture. To get our main texture, we have to do stuff in Roblox Studio, which I'll show you right now. Now that we've opened a new base plate in Roblox Studio, I can show you what I do to insert my character into the space. So, there is a paid way, unfortunately, which is Mirror Animator, and then there's another way that, which is a different plugin to get your character in the game. Now, if you find a different way to insert your character or anything, then you want to go to properties, 0, 0, 0. That puts your character right here, and now we can delete this from Explorer. Right click on your character, export selection. Now you want to save this file in a space. Once you've done that, you want to open up Blender again, and then go to main texture. Use file from current directory. Then click on it again. After that, you want to find where you put your file. When you found it, you see handle 1 diff, and that will be your texture for your character. Now, if you want to put a different face on it, you can by going to here, use file from current directory, and then click on it again. And now, what you want to do, and now you want to find where you put those Roblox HD faces. This will show you a bunch of faces from different things. But what I'm going to do is use the face for my Roblox avatar. Now that we have done this, we can go over to layout, click that again. Now we have this. I'm going to show you how you can get your accessories in Blender. So you press file, import, wavefront OBJ. Afterwards, you want to press split by group, and then find where you saved your file. For me, I saved it here, and you're going to have your name, and MTL, or your name OBJ. What I want to do is click the OBJ, and then import wavefront OBJ. Now, you want to press G and Z, and then drag up until your character is dragged to the perfect position. Now what we want to do, press G, -5. That's going to move it perfectly 5 spaces over. Then you want to delete all your body parts by clicking X, delete. Clicking X, delete. Now for your head accessories, we want to go G5. Boom. Now what we want to do now is select the accessory, hold down shift, and click this one right here, and go Control P, bone. Now we can go click this, go over to here, put it on pose mode, and we can move our head with our accessories. Now we can put our character in any pose we want. Now to pose our character, what we're going to do is click R, then you can go Z-axis by pressing Z, X-axis by pressing X, then you can also do the Y-axis by pressing Y. Now I'm going to put my character in a quick pose. Alright, now we have our pose. We can go back to object mode, then hold on Shift and A. Now what we can do here is go to camera, boom. Now we can drag it up, drag it to the side, and then press this camera button right here. So what I'm going to do is enable depth of field. That's something I haven't tried yet. And then drag the camera back, over here, and then up. What you can do is rotate the camera like that, and any way you see necessary. Now that we have our camera like this, we can go out of the camera by holding down the middle mouse button. Now you want to go to rendered preview, hold down Shift and A again, and then get light. What we're going to do is a spotlight above the character, and then get this, make it around 5,000 maybe, and then increase the radius. Now you can bring this around and put it anywhere you need. I'm gonna put it like around there.
Hey you. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I have to tell you important news. Only 3% of you are subscribed, so subscribe now.
Or else.
Go back to my camera view, see if it looks good. And then what we can do is change the color of it to whatever we want. So we can make our character green because the light's green. Any color that we need. I'm gonna make it a little bit more yellow, maybe bluish actually. I'm gonna put it around blue. It will look on the profile and the thumbnails, depending on like the background color. So whatever background color you want, you're gonna have to put it up into like a little bit in that area. Now we can go back to here. Now first, before we render it, we need to make our background transparent. To do this, go press this button, go down to film, and then press transparent. Now we can go over to render image. Now this will give us an image. It will vary in time depending on your laptop speed though. Now we can go to image, save as, and then put it to the place we need to put our file. Now that we have this, we can now open up Photoshop. First one I'm going to show you is how I make my thumbnails. Now we want to go in here and find our rendered image in our file explorer. Once we found our image, we're going to go click and drag into Photoshop. Now we have our image in Photoshop. Now we're going to go find a background for our image. Now for a background, I'm going to use an image from Digital Shenanigans for an example. So I'm going to go Control V and get my image here. Now you see these draggers? Drag that up and then drag the other one up until it fills the screen. And if it still doesn't, drag that one and drag that one. Now we want to put it underneath our thing because it's the background. Now we have our image, we can put it to a place that we want. Now after that, depending on the brightness of our thing, we can go up. Now we can click it, image, adjustments, hue and saturation. You can up the saturation of our image as well as the lightness. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click this and make a stroke. Depending on what we want to do, we can make it white, we can make it whatever. Now that we have this, we can add a text. To add text, we want to press T or click this button right here. And we want to click. Now we can find our font. Usually what I use is Montserrat Black. We can scale that up, put it here, boom, boom. Now we can press T again just to see the text and whatever we want to put it as. Now I've made my text, we're going to size it up even more and then drag it below our thing. This adds a depth to our image. Now I'm going to show you how to make it look like this. To do that, look over here, you need these things right here. A stroke, and we're going to make it around how big you want it to. I'm going to put it there, there, and then we're going to add a gradient overlay. Once we have the gradient overlay right here, we can go color, boom, and change it to here. And then we can also change it to here. Now we can change this any way we want and put it wherever you want in the image. I'm just going to keep it at -90. Now we're going to get a drop shadow, put it to these settings right here, opacity 75, and then you can increase the distance, spread, and size. I usually keep the size at 16 and the distance however I want it to be. Now we can add an inner glow, but I don't think it's needed for this image directly. Now we're going to go back to here, double click it, and we're going to add a drop shadow as well. Just use whatever settings you need for this as well. Now I'm going to put the JDS logo in my thing. Now that we've gotten our finished thumbnail, we can now go to File, Export, Quick Export as PNG. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and make a brand new pose, and now we're going to save it. Now we're going to go back into Photoshop, New, then we're going to go make a 1920 by 1920 width and height. Then we're going to go find our image and then drag it in again. Now we have this, we're going to scale it up to size, and this is where I'm going to bring in our background. The link for this background will be in the description as well. I'm going to put it behind the character, and we're going to be changing it to blue. To do that, we're going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and we'll be changing the hue all the way to the side until it comes blue. I'm now going to change the saturation and lightness on my guy. Now that we have this, we can put a border around our image. To do this, we can select here, at the very top, hold down Shift to make a perfect circle, and bring it over there. Now that we have our stroke, we can go up to here, and then increase the width of it. I'm gonna make it quite big so it actually fits in the image as well. So I would do around 180. Now we have this is like a quick little profile picture that we can do really quickly. I'm gonna export, quick export as PNG, and now it's kind of self-explanatory what you can do with this. Anyways, that concludes the video. If you found this helpful, that would mean so much to me if you would subscribe and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers.